the winners. So we missed our first.
That's right. That was Randy.
Yeah, when I was playing with Randy. Yeah, that was the Outlaws reunion tour.
That's you're kneeling in water.
The sun of all the places you could be.
Who did you say this was playing, Roman?
The Denver Stampede.
Denver Stampede.
And the SF Blackout. Here, let's nudge this down a little bit. There. Is that better?
Yeah, oh, it's so much better. So who's playing the next one?
DEN. Blue, do we know who's home team yet? Okay. DEN.
I know, like, if they're going to start, we're going to have one huge difficulty, and that is getting lineups.
Yeah, well, we always. That's not unusual.
Denver.
I'm gonna go get him in a minute.
They need to make 4 packs.
We'll get him from the Empire. He'll let us borrow him. Long enough to write him
Well,
down.
damn right.
DEN STAMPEDE. The next team is SF.
That's second level. We half the time we're running around taking pictures of the coaches lineup with the phone at Asana. We were sending lineups all over the place by text.
How you doing? They said you could take a picture of our roster on your phone. It's like, girl, I have an Android.
Who's the other one?
SF Blackout. Well, we were about 20 minutes late getting started. We had a little network issue, but it's been resolved. So it looks very, very good. And we have instant replay, and you were right on the call with the foot out of the box. You were well out, and you were right on the top.
In other words, you were right.
I like that.
There's no other way around it.
Yeah. Just FYI.
Let's go back to his computer. Let's do that. Since I do it just in the camera. I says, come on, do a Billy Martin on me.
Yeah, right. Kick some dirt. It's got a lock there on the side. Yeah. That part doesn't work so well. So you're gonna have to. Okay.
He literally instructs us
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
What's that one?
Lemus. All right, we are back here at Field 4 in Las Vegas, and we are at the Desert Breeze Complex. And it is a game between the San Francisco Blackout and the Denver Stampede. San Francisco is the visiting team. They were the home team in the previous game when they beat Houston 8-7. And their leadoff batter reaches on a walk. Here is the next batter, and this is Brian Hall, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. It's no balls and a strike. And again, if you were with us in the first game, there is no courtesy foul. They want to move the game along. Ground ball goes off the second baseman's glove and into right center field for a base hit. And they're going to wave Rushing all the way around from first base, and he scores. Rushing just kept on running. Third base coach just kept waving him around. And so the first run of the game in the top of the first inning, and we'll bring up Nagy. And he swings and lifts one to left center field for a base hit. Hall round second on his way to third. He's got good speed. He'll reach third easily, stand up, and it's runners at first and third and nobody out. We're trying very quickly to get our lineups in our scorebooks. They were handed to us minutes before the game started. And that's what Joel Tremblay is doing right now. This is Carrasco, or no, this is Tam, and Tam takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 2-1. The next one to him. He swings and lifts one to second base, fielded by the second baseman. He dropped it, but manages to make a play at second base for a force out. On the play, Brian Hall scores, and Tam reaches first on a fielder's choice for 6. We'll bring up Carrasco. Joel, hello.
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 I finally finished scribbling and am able to catch up with you and watch here. It was a fast start to this game. 2 runs in already.
There's a fly ball hit into shallow left field. It will be caught and then dropped by the left fielder. And Hall, who is running for Tam at first base, held up and then reaches second. Smart base running by him. And it's runners at first and second.
It was a long run to get there. Almost made that catch. Don't know if you got a spot of sun or anything up there. It's cloudy, but there's still a few spots of sun coming through.
Michael Ramirez, the batter, he was a pinch hitter in the first game. He takes the first pitch for a ball and takes the second pitch for a ball. He swings and hits a fly ball to a line drive rather into left field for a base hit. Brian Hall will score, and it's runners at first and second with another run in.
Hall came in on the second run. I think that was Tam coming around to score on that one.
Tam, yes. This is Ortega. He grounds one to second base, fielded by the second baseman. Shortstop makes the play for an out there, and a double play at first base. How many runs do you have in that
I
inning
have
for them?
3 in on that
Okay.
inning.
So 3-0 our score. Denver will come to bat here in the bottom of the first. And the way they handed their lineup in, they're all first names. So we're going to be on a first name basis with the Denver Stampede. Keenan leads off. Carlos, Sean, Nate, Tony, Nick, Jess, Alex, Chris, Phil, Evan, and Pete. That's their lineup.
You can get on a first name basis quickly here at the Sin City Classic.
and so that's what we have for you. We have player numbers, but not necessarily player positions. So we'll just tell you where the ball is hit, and you'll figure that out in your mind's eye. Figure out where we are at any point during our game here. As we have a 3-0 ball game here, and the San Francisco Blackout now taking the field for the first time in this game. This is their second pool play game. They tied Houston 8-8 in the first one. So the leadoff batter for Denver here in the bottom of the first inning will be Keenan. They have some rather colorful uniforms. And the first pitch to him. He swings and lifts one into shallow left field. Easy play for the left fielder. And that is the first out here in the bottom of the first. Carlos will be the batter. Carlos wears number 15. Sean wears number 18, and he bats after Carlos.
For those of you just joining, we are starting at the Sin City Classic this year with a 1-1 count. So all the batters have a ball and a strike when they come to the plate.
Grounder to short. Oh, nice play at first. Good play by the first baseman. And that's out number 1 here, or out number 2, thank you, in the first inning. It'll ring up Sean. And the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. The 1-2-1 pitch is a ball. 3 balls and a strike. And the next one swung on, hit deep to right field. That ball's got some carry. It one hops to the fence. It's going to be a triple as Sean races all the way to third base, and he's a 2-out base runner. And that'll bring up Nate. He hit that ball deep and hard.
He hit that a long way. This is the C division, so they are allowed to have a home run.
Yes.
In the D division where I play, that would be an inning-ending out if you actually hit it over the fence. But that one stayed in.
Who do you play for?
I usually play for a team called Over the Limit out of San Diego, but I'm playing with the Tiki Warriors from Palm Springs this tournament.
This is Nate, and he hits one of deep left center field, but it hung up too high, and the out is made. Nate is the last batter in this inning, and so a triple with 2 outs by Sean, and he is left stranded, so no runs, a hit, and 1 left on base. You're here with us, and you're also playing?
I am here with you and I am playing, but I am here with you first. So we had a couple games. We had a couple games this morning, and then I came on over.
And how did you do? How'd your team do this morning?
We lost both this morning. The first one was pretty close. The second one was a little bit tougher. Almost got run ruled, not quite. So,
Did you line up for him? I lost my copy, sorry.
yeah, we got to line up.
Bobby Shim is going to lead off for San Francisco here in the top of the second inning. Shim is their shortstop, and he takes the ball, takes the first pitch for a ball, and takes the second pitch for a ball, so he is way ahead in the count at 3 balls and 1 strike. Takes a strike, taking all the way, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he takes his pitch right in front of the plate, so ball 4, and Shim reaches to lead off and will bring up Chaparro. Chaparro takes a pitch outside for a ball. Chaparro played in the first game, Timothy Chaparro. He was 1 for 3, and he hits one foul to the track in foul territory. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And in Vegas this year, I believe there is no foul to give. So if he hits another foul ball, that will be strike 3.
That's right. They want to keep the game moving. That's as good a way as any to do that. He swings and hits one deep to left center field. That ball's got some carry, and it's over the left center fielder's head. That's in for a base hit. Shim makes it to third. Chaparro will hold second, and it's second and third with nobody out.
And if you're watching the pitches wondering what's a ball and what's a strike, it has to cross over the plate, and it's supposed to pass between the batter's shoulders and knees in the air. So there's no line in the back the umpire is using. He's trying to judge where that ball crosses the batter.
Here's Lemos, lines one to left field for a base hit. Shim scores, and Chaparro scores. The ball is bobbled in the outfield, and Lemos makes it to second base. He's going to head to third. There'll be no play on him, and so a single and a two-base error, 2 runs in for San Francisco, and they add to their lead. They are now up 5-0. And that will bring up Martinez. First pitch swinging, pop up to the second baseman, and the out is made at second base as the ball is caught by Jesse. For the first out of the inning, they'll bring up the top of the order, and here is Rushing. Rushing walked his first at bat, and he scored a run. He tries to score this run at third base. He takes the first pitch for a strike. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
That one caught the inside corner barely.
Next one, up the middle. That is in for a base hit. A run will score. And so Andrew Rushing reaches for the second time in this game, gets an RBI single, and it's now 6-0. A solid base hit to up the middle, fielded by the right center fielder, allowing the run to score, and it'll bring up Brian Hall. And Brian Hall takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 1-2. He's got some power, takes it inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That last hit was a pretty classic softball hit, just
Yeah.
a liner right up the middle. Nobody could get there.
The next one is lined into right center field for a base hit. The ball is bobbled by the right fielder. Rushing will take third, and because of the bobble, Hall is able to get into second base easily. The ball gets by in the cutoff, but the first baseman comes over and makes sure that no further damage is done. Nice play by the first baseman, Phil. So now it's runners at second and third. There are already 2 runs in the inning.
And now we have Nagy, who made it to first last time. It was out on a fielder's choice.
And Nagy swings and hits one third baseman. Nice play there. He tries to make a play on the base runner Rushing, and it's a fielder's choice, no base hit, as Nagy reaches on the fielder's choice. So now the bases are loaded, and he'll bring up Tam. First pitch to him, and he lifts one in the air to left field. This will get a 1 run in. Ball is caught by the left fielder. Here comes Rushing. He scores easily, and the other 2 runners will hold their positions at first and second. This is Carrasco. Carrasco with runners at first and second. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is the first out of the inning, right? I got that
No,
right?
there was
The second out?
the
Martinez
pop
made
up
the
to
out.
second base. Martinez
did
made a
the
pop
out.
up, so that's the second out of the inning.
That's the position. That's the out that I missed. All right. This next one is hit down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Takes a weird carom, but the right fielder able to make the play. A run scores. That's Brian Hall scoring. And on the play, Nagy takes third. It is runners at first and third.
And now it's 7-0.
7-0.
That was a nice pitch right behind the plate. If it does hit the plate, it pretty much is always going to be called a ball.
And Ramirez swings and lines one to the left field for a base hit. Another run in. It's 8-0. Nagy scores on the play. Carrasco takes second base. Ramirez is out at first base, and the batter is going to be Ortega. So they've batted around in this inning. This is the 10th batter of the inning, and the first pitch to him, the 11th batter of the inning, and the first pitch to him is a strike. Big inning for San Francisco, and they'll add to it as this one is hit into the alley in right center field. And again, backhanded by the right fielder. He bobbled the ball. A run will score the other runner to third. 9-0? 9-0.
9-0. Wait. 10.
10-0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I believe we got 10-0
That
now.
would be 7 runs in the inning. And so they have batted around. Bobby Shim will bat again. He started this inning with a walk. He scored a run, and he can add to the lead. He hits one into the air to left center field on the first pitch, and the catch is made, and the inning is over. Huge for San Francisco.
Big inning. I had 7 runs in that inning, so like we said, 10-0 for the Blackout. And
so Denver has some work ahead of them. They'll bat for only the second time in this game. 7 runs in.
10-0.
Thank you.
And we just confirmed the score with the umpire there, who agrees 7 runs in that inning, and a total score at 10-0 now, with the Denver Stampede coming up for the bottom of the second inning.
Desert Breeze here in Las Vegas. Field 4 is where we're broadcasting from this afternoon. Those of you joining us on the Cloud Sports Network, especially for our viewers and listeners in San Francisco and in Denver, we hope that you're enjoying the broadcast. For San Francisco, you certainly are, because your team is already up 10-0.
There is a little bit of a breeze out here today, but not too much wind to play with the ball, just enough to keep us all a little bit cold.
54 degrees was the temperature when we started. Here in the bottom of the second, the leadoff batter is Tony, and he takes the first pitch for a ball, 2-1. He takes this next pitch, it's bouncing on the plate, and the count is 3-1. He swings and fouls one down the right field line, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You'll see a lot of players doing that on the first swing, but probably we'll try to straighten it out and not paint that line with no fouls to give here.
Correct. Three balls, 2 strikes. Tony swings and hits one to short. On the first, 1 out. And this will bring up Nick. And Nick swings at the first pitch, skies one into the alley and left and center, caught by the left center fielder. That is the second out. So quickly there are 2 outs for Denver in the bottom of the second, and they trail in this ball game 10-0. Number 45 for Denver is Jesse. He takes a pitch for a ball. And the next pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And again, it's not where it lands, it's where it crosses the plate. And I think that one
Exactly.
crossed over the plate and came outside further.
There's a line drive into left field for a base hit. Fielded on 2 hops by the left fielder. That's Brian Hall, I believe. And so a 2-out base runner for Denver. That's Jesse at first base, and this is number 23, and that's Alex. And Alex swings at the first pitch and hits one over the shortstop's head into left center field for a hit. And so Denver has a little business going here with runners at first and second and 2 out here in the bottom of the second, and that will bring up Chris.
Chris, who is the number 9 hitter, the Stampede are batting 12, which is the maximum you can bat at the Sin City Classic.
That's right. And the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. And he takes another pitch for a ball. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. And he takes a strike. This is 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second. And there is a fly ball into deep left field, but not deep enough as it hangs up for the left fielder to make the catch. And Denver, after 2 outs, put runners at first and second. but then they are stranded, and so we go to the top of the third. Our score remains San Francisco 10 and Denver nothing.
And there are run rules here at the Sin City Classic.
Yes.
So we'll talk about those a little bit. There's no run rule after 2 innings. After 3 innings, if a team is ahead by 20 runs, then they win. 4 innings, it's 15 runs. In 5 innings, it's 10 runs. So if this were the bottom of the 5th, this game would be over, but we have another inning for sure.
So how many years have you been playing?
I played my first season in 2006 in San Francisco when I lived there, and then I moved to San Diego and have played ever since. So I think this is year 13 in San Diego and 14 overall.
Are you familiar with one of the best pitchers to ever pitch in gay softball by the name of Roman Jimenez?
I am a friend of Roman's. Believe it or not, actually, Roman was one of the people who taught me how to pitch when I was trying to help manage a team that didn't have a pitcher. So that's why and how I learned, and Roman was a huge asset.
So he was successful in his tutelage?
Oh, shut up.
He was successful in his, I think so. We went undefeated last year, so he must have taught me something right. But I pitch in D.
Say that again. Oh, you're the commissioner of San Diego?
I am the new commissioner of San Diego, yes.
Well, God bless you.
And I was able to convince the old commissioner to come back as my treasurer.
Him?
No, Austin Jacobson.
Len Shapiro, I know him. I do know him. Do I know him?
Austin Jacobson?
Yeah. Here is Len Shapiro. He has a double and a run scored in his first plate appearance, and that was in that 7-run second inning, and hits a fly ball to deep left field, caught, and that's the first out in the inning. Just so there's no mistake, I'm relying on your scorebook because I didn't have time to make my scorebook.
Right, and we do have, and
I
you're
feel-
standing because I have a bar between me and...
Stand with me. I'm being blocked either by the umpire or the catcher, depending on who's batting. Here's Lemus. He has a run scored in this game, and he swings and hits one also to left field, but that ball is shallow, and it will drop in front of the left fielder for a hit. The ball is then bobbled in the outfield, but the base runner not all that swift, so he will hold at first base with a single. They're gonna, and because he's not the fastest runner on the team, he will be lifted for a pinch runner, and that'll be Shapiro. The batter is going to be Martinez, and Martinez popped at the second baseman.
So the courtesy runner rule here is basically that you can put in a runner for somebody, I believe it's once an inning, is that right?
Yes. Fly ball to right field by Ramirez is caught, and that's the second out.
There you go, Andrew.
Andrew rushing the batter. He has reached twice, and he has scored twice.
Andrew, next time drive.
Shapiro at first base now, and rushing takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The courtesy runner rule has changed over the years. You used to be able to designate someone. Now you can just use one an inning no matter what.
Exactly. And here's a weak ground ball in the hole at short. It's bobbled by the shortstop. There'll be no play anywhere. And so that was one of those, the balls that was not hit very well, but slow enough that rushing is able to reach.
Often
And
when
that'll
that
bring-
happens, someone will be chanting, "Thank you, softball fairy."
Yeah, exactly. And that'll bring up Brian Hall. Brian Hall has reached twice. He has scored twice. He takes the ball. It's 2 balls and a strike. And there is a line drive left center field. The ball is going to be caught by the left center fielder, and that is how the inning will end for San Francisco. They put 2 on but do not score. It's the first of the 3 innings that they have batted in which they have not plated a run. So we go to the bottom of the third. It is now San Francisco still 10 and Denver nothing.
It looks like the field conditions are pretty good today. It's a nice field. It's grass on the inside with the dirt tracks around the bases. Looks kind of dry. The balls seem to be getting a pretty good bounce in the
They
outfield.
are. So there is a true hop. We haven't seen any balls that have been
It's
what?
turf?
Oh, it is?
The outfielder.
Oh, wow. Okay, that makes more sense from the hops. It's nice looking turf because I thought it was real.
Are they new? Are the turf fields new here for Las Vegas? Do you know? We count on you for this information, sir.
What I did hear
Yes.
is that for the World Series in Columbus, that they have redone many of the fields there, and they have turf.
Boy, I'll tell you what, people are so excited about the fact that when they go, they'll be able to play now. I think more than 3/4 of the fields in Columbus are turf fields, and that made a lot of people very, very happy. Here in the bottom of the third, it'll be Phil, Evan, and Pete. And the first pitch to him, he swings at a low pitch and lifts one into left center field, and the ball is dropped. Ball is dropped by the left center fielder, and so Phil is a leadoff base runner here. He went after a pitch, he reached for it, but was able to make good contact. The ball should have been caught, but was not.
And that's the first time they've gotten their lead runner on, so let's see if they can get something going here down 10-0.
They have a long way to go here, but it's still early. Evan swings and hits one in the hole in left field for a base hit.
That one had eyes.
It did. The shortstop playing a little closer to second base for the right-handed batter allowed that ball to get into left. So it's runners at first and second. That is Phil at second, Evan at first, and this is Pete. Liner to right field. That's a hit. Andrew Rushing fields the ball, gets it back in. So the first three batters all reach. So a little activity here for Denver here as they have the bases loaded.
And that'll flip the order and bring up the leadoff hitter, Keenan.
This is
I
Keenan.
believe.
And he hit a fly ball to left field in his first plate appearance. Keenan swings and hits one off the shortstop's glove and into left field for a hit. One run in. Another runner will score. A play to third base is late. So Phil and Evan score. Pete takes third. Keenan safe at first. Nobody out. 10-2 our score. It never fails. When an out is committed on the first at bat, something bad will happen. So for Denver, something good happened as they are now a little closer, 10-2. Here is Carlos. He grounded to short his first at bat, and the first pitch to him is a strike. Second pitch is a ball.
Well, and I will say I wasn't actually trying necessarily to help Denver, but historically when I mention the run rule, it becomes obsolete very quickly.
It really does. You're absolutely right. Grounded to third, fielded by the third baseman. A throw to second is dropped by the second baseman. Another run scores as Pete crosses the second, and that brings up Sean. He's the third batter in their lineup, and he can cut into the lead a little more. He takes the first pitch for a ball. He swings and hits one in the air to center field. Caught by the left center fielder. On the play, Keenan will tag and go to third. So he's a little closer now in scoring position.
When new players come, they get so excited about those deep fly balls, and I will take a little single over the infield liner any day. That was pretty and hard, and just another deep out.
This is Nate. Line drive, left center field, base hit. A run scores as Keenan crosses the plate. Ball bobbled out in left center field will allow Carlos to take third. So it's 10-4. Runners still at first and third, and still one out for Tony. Tony is the catcher. He bats fifth in their lineup. And the first pitch to Tony. Ball. 2 balls and a strike.
I think that one hit the plate.
There's a ground ball hit to second. Fielded by the second baseman. Bobbled, recovers in time, and makes a play to the shortstop for the out. But on the play, Carlos scores. This inning started 10-0, and now it's 10-5.
Got half the runs back already?
Yep.
Things can change fast in softball.
And here is Nick. He swings and hits one up the middle, and that bounce to the second baseman. But he has no play. The second baseman and the shortstop both went for the ball, so there was no one covering the bag, and that allows Tony to take second base. And it's runners at first and second with 2 out. And the batter will be Jesse.
And that one was right up the middle, but what usually helps that is communication. And sometimes these teams bring pickup players, so they may not have all played with each other before.
That's a good point. Grounder to third, and it goes right off the third baseman's leg and into the left field for a hit. Tony will score. It's now
So for the World Series, which, as we mentioned, will be in Columbus, you pretty much have to take the team that you played with throughout the year, with a few pickup players from your city. But here, you can field a team. Anybody can put together a team of friends. We have a lot of pickup players on our team for the Tiki Warriors. That ball is out to right center field. A little bit of a bobble there.
1 scores. Here is another run scoring. That is Jesse. Alex takes third. I have it 10-7, 10-8.
10-8.
We were getting some information on another game that we may have. We'll keep our cameras going for. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. This is Chris. Next pitch to Chris. There is a fly ball hit to left field. It'll stay in the park. It is caught, but this was an excellent inning for Denver. They score 8 times, and we have a ball game again. Our score is now 10-8.
We have a ball game, and that was, they batted around that inning, so sent 12 batters to the plate. 8 runs in. So much for the run rule talk.
You gave us a game that now has some interest.
We got it back. We got it rolling now.
At 10-0, we might have been a little bit concerned, but now we have a 10-8 ball game.
And so we'll go to the 4th inning with the Blackout coming up, and I believe Nagy will be leading off the inning.
Yes, Nagy will lead off. I love a game with a lot of offense. However that offense is manufactured makes the game very exciting. Nagy will be followed by Tam and Carrasco.
And it is nice to keep the games moving along. I don't know how you feel as a pitcher, but I don't like the foul to give rule. I'm glad they're playing without it.
You gotta keep things moving. Nagy takes a ball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. And here's a weak pop-up foul. It'll go to the seats and then bounces right back in. So it's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. That pitch is very low, ball 3. Bounced about 2 feet in front of the plate. The full count pitch is lined to third off the third baseman's glove to the shortstop, and no play.
That ball was hit hard. Almost had his glove on it, but just a little too hard and bounced out.
Kevin Tam will be the batter. He is their third baseman. No out base runner, leadoff base runner on. Tam takes a strike.
That one hitting just behind the plate.
He swings and grounds one to the third baseman. The third baseman throws to the second baseman. He bobbles the throw. It'll be an error on the second baseman.
And it looks
Carlos
like
is the second baseman, Carlos is the second baseman. He had a play there, and it would have been the first out of the inning, but instead the bobble allows the base runner to reach, and it is now first and second with nobody out. And we'll bring up Carrasco. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, the umpire with good mechanics getting out from behind the plate to get a good angle on that. Ours wasn't as good. I thought he might have called him safe on the transfer, but he bobbled before he had the out.
Next pitch to Carrasco. Fly ball into right center field. Right center hasn't played perfectly, makes the catch. The out is made. But on the play, Nagy will tag up and go from second to third. So it's first and third with 1 out, and we'll bring up Ramirez. First pitch to him. A strike call.
Do you know an umpire named by the name of Roman Jimenez?
Is the umpire too?
He's umpiring now in the America's Finest City Softball League in San Diego.
Good for him.
It's always good to see him back there.
Jack of all trades, you got that. Here's a line drive into left field for a base hit. Nagy will score. The ball gets by the left fielder. Left center fielder has to go get that ball. That will allow Brian Hall to come all the way around from first base to score.
And it looks like Ramirez got in there to second on that one. That is why, as coaches, we yell and scream about backing each other up in the outfield to make sure that those get back in the infield as quickly as possible when they sneak through.
Ortega takes the strike on the inside corner. So it's 12-8. And the next pitch is inside for a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ortega swings and he went after a pitch outside and hits one over the right fielder's head on one hop to the right center fielder. A run will score, and on the play, Ortega will hold second. Ramirez scores 3 runs in the inning, and it is now 13-8.
That ball carried. I did not think it was going to go that far,
I didn't
although
either.
the right fielder may have been in a little bit, but that went a lot farther than I thought it was going to go. Maybe it caught a little breeze up there.
Here is Shim. He has a runner in scoring position. Fly ball right center field. It's in for a hit. Bobbled by the right center fielder. Recovers. However, the run will score as Ortega crosses the plate. There actually was a closer play at the plate, but Ortega scores. He didn't slide, but he beat the throw. Shim at second base. So that should be 4 runs into the inning.
4 runs into the inning, so we are at
Thank you.
14-8, I believe.
You may take this. It's
Fill it out for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Roman. There's a base hit down the third baseline into left field. A run will score. As Shim crosses the plate, it was Chaparro with the hit, and that'll bring up Lemus.
So the Blackout coming right back for those 8 runs that they gave up in the last inning.
This is not Lemus. This is number 99. And my scorebook has disappeared, so we're just going to have to tell you that he wears number 99.
Yeah.
Okay. Fly ball to right field, and the ball is caught. Runner will hold at first base. And I believe that Zach Batija is running at first base. He wears number 10. Here's an opposite field base hit to left field by Martinez. Batija will hold second as the ball is gotten back in quickly. You have 5 in the inning, right?
5 in the
1,
inning.
2, okay, thank you. And this will bring up Andrew Rushing. First and second, here's the pitch. Line drive, left field. Oh, nice leaping catch by the left fielder. And that is the 3rd out, but 5 runs cross the plate for the Blackout. And they extend their lead. They started this inning at 10-8, 15-8 now. Mr. Official, how much time do we have left in this game?
9 minutes.
9 minutes left in this game, so it's getting a little bit late for Denver now. They did plate 8 runs in their last at-bat. So we know that they have the ability to bounce back, and so they'll bat, let's see, their leadoff batter will be Phil. It'll be Phil, Evan, and Pete. We're going with the lineup that they presented to us, which had first names because they wanted us to be on a first-name basis with everybody. So that's what they did.
So if they score as many as last inning, bat around again, they will probably win, because that might be enough. They can sort of bat this game out.
That's correct, yes.
And run out the clock. We'll see. If they do have a shorter inning, we might get a 5th inning here in this game.
So Phil leads off. Phil got that big 8-run inning started by reaching on an error and scored a run, and he takes the first pitch outside for a ball. There's a base hit to left field.
That's exactly how the last inning started.
Yeah. He led off. He reached. Big husky strapping man. And that'll bring up Evan. Evan reached and scored. He has a base hit in this game. He bats for the second time. Ortega's pitch is swung on and grounded to short. Shortstop over to second for one. And safe at first base. So Phil is forced at second base. Evan reaches at first. The batter will be Pete. He is the 12th batter in their lineup.
He dropped one over to right field last time, just over the infield.
And he takes the first pitch for a strike. It is a ball and 2 strikes. And the next one. Swung on and bounced to the shortstop. They'll get a force at second. That's one. No play at first base as Pete has good speed. And it is a runner at first base, and now there are 2 out. And that sends us back to the top of the order, and Keenan has scored a run. He was involved in that 8-run inning. First pitch to him at this at-bat is grounded to the second baseman. One-handed by the second baseman on to first, and the inning is over. So the leadoff batter reached, and then the next 3 men make outs. We'll go to the top of the 5th, and our score remains San Francisco 15 and Denver 8 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
So now that we're in the 5th inning, we will play the 5th inning through. The run rule only applies after the home team has had their bat. So since Denver is starting out behind, we will definitely get a full inning here.
We will have another game for you after this. Then we will take a break and then have 3 more for you after that. And based on when these games start, they started a little early because they want to keep things moving here. So you have 32 teams that are in the C1 division. There are 2 C divisions, C1 and C2, and the C2 division has 37 teams, 69 C teams that are here in Las Vegas for the Sin City Classic. And it isn't just softball that's being competed here this weekend. There are 23 other sports that are being competed across this city here. Lots of athletes in town. Brian Hall leads off and hits one of the alley between left center and right center all the way to the fence. Brian Hall, blessed with speed, stand-up triple for him. And San Francisco starts with their leadoff batter reaching in the top of the 5th.
The organizers of the Classic do a great job of tweaking things some years to try to make sure everything is competitive. There's 3 D divisions this year, I believe.
Nagy hits a towering fly ball to deep left center field and caught right at the fence. It'll be a sacrifice fly RBI for Nagy. So another run. That's a little bit of insurance now given how late we are in the game, and that makes our score 16-8 for San Francisco. 1 out, nobody on.
And he got all of that one.
He sure did. Kevin Tam, the batter, third baseman. He swings and hits one into left field for a base hit. So a 1-out base runner is Kevin Tam. And that'll bring up Carrasco. Brian Hall, who has been the designated runner so far for San Francisco in both games, was coming in to run again. It's easy to know who he is. We've seen him so often. And Carrasco takes the ball.
Carrasco with a fly ball to right field last at bat, but has reached twice.
And another pitch is deep. 3-1. There's a strike called, 3-2. The pitch is inside for a ball, and so a walk for Carrasco. Hall, the pinch runner, will take second base. It's runners at first and second with 1 out. And that'll bring up Ramirez. His team is leading 16-8 here. We're in the top of the fifth and what likely will be the last full inning. Full play can end in a tie. Here's a fly ball on the first pitch, hit to deep right center field. It is bobbled by the right center fielder, hit the fence, so the ball is in play. Hall scores. Other runner to third. He will stay at third as the ball got by the catcher but did not go deep enough for anybody else to score, so there'll be runners at second and third. And we'll bring up Ortega, and he can add to the lead, which is now 17-8.
He did a great job to get to that ball. No error on that play. That was amazing to even get a glove on it.
And Ortega takes a pitch high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. He takes that pitch inside, ball 3.
So we've had, I believe, 2 walks in this game, but I don't think we've actually seen an illegal pitch this game.
I don't think we have either. You're correct. There's a ground ball over to the second baseman. Nice play there, and an equally fine play at first base on the short hop by the first baseman. That is Phil. A run does score as Carrasco crosses the plate. 18-8.
18-8, flashing the leather out here in this inning, though. That was a nice play by the second baseman to get to that ball.
And this is Shim. Runner at third base now with 2 out. And Shim lifts one in the air to center field. It's shallow, and it drops between everybody for a hit. Ramirez scores, and on the play, Shim takes second. That was hit in no man's land between the shortstop, the second baseman, the left center fielder, the right center fielder. Zach Batiste will be the batter.
Nothing you can do about that.
No, not at all.
Looper, Texas Leaguer, call it what you want. It's still a hit.
And there's a fly ball hit into left field. The ball will be caught. And this inning for San Francisco is over. 4 or 5?
4 runs across in that inning. So,
This is it, guys.
19-8.
And you might have heard the umpire say, "This is it." So this will be Denver's last at-bat, and they have a long way to battle back. They were down 10-0, battled back to 10-8, but then San Francisco, they've had some clutch hitting in this game, and most of their runs have scored on hits. There have been very few errors in this game, but they've just hit the ball very, very well, and in some instances, deep. They got a lot of power in this team. This will be a team worth watching later on this afternoon.
Yeah, nothing going out of the park yet, but some very deep fly balls.
Carlos will be the batter here to lead off in the bottom of the 5th inning.
So again, the Stampede chasing 11 behind 19-8 to start the inning.
Time has run out. You might hear the clock beeping nearby here. Stopwatch says time has run out, so the first pitch is a ball. And so this will be it. Here's the next pitch. And Carlos swings and hits one to left field. Ryan Hall backs up on the ball, and then the ball drops in front of him. So Carlos will take second base.
Those liners hit right at you are some of the hardest balls to judge. You think it's coming down, and it just keeps carrying. I think he just needed one more step back on that one.
And I'll bring up Sean. And the first pitch to Sean is a ball outside, 2 balls and a strike. Next pitch to him. Swung on, popped up into shallow left center field. The ball drops for a hit, and Carlos will head to third.
Might have been able to make it home on that, but no reason to send him from third when you're down 11. Just play station to station for a little while and keep the risks to a minimum.
And that'll bring up Nate. Nate bats with runners at first and third. First pitch to him. He swings and lines one off the third baseman's glove. They'll get a play at second base. The ball is thrown away. Carlos will score. Sean heads to third. He thought he might be able to score, but the third base coach holds him smartly. You don't want to take chances, as Joel just said, with nobody out. And so a run scores. Bring up Tony. First and third, the base runners for Denver. And here's Tony, wants to keep an inning going. First pitch swinging, and hits one under the first baseman's glove into right field for a hit. Rushing gets the ball in. However, a run will score. And on the play, Nate takes third. So another run scores as Sean crosses the plate. 19-10.
19-10. Now that was a bit of a risk there, but it does keep them away from having a forced play at third.
Yes.
So a little more reasonable to run that one there, although some people probably would have held him.
Here's Nick. Fly ball to center field. The ball is dropped by the right center fielder. One run scores. Tony takes third. Nick retreats back to second. 19-11.
19-11.
And still nobody out. And this is Jesse.
And so the coach out there talking to the pitcher a little bit, I think just trying to break things up. No, they may be switching here.
Let's see. Chaparro is coming in. He's going to go to the outfield. He's going to go to left center field. Ortega is going to stay in as the pitcher.
So when you bat 12, 2-year players are extra hitters, but you can put anybody out on the field that you want to. So no substitutions, nothing had to change. They're all in the lineup, just moving positions or going from extra hitter to being in the field.
So here's Jesse. First base is open, so there's no force with nobody out. Jesse swings and hits a ground ball to short. They'll go to first. A run will score. They concede the run. Tony scores easily. So there's one out, and on the play, Nick held second. And this brings up Alex. 19-12. A ground ball to the shortstop. He boots it into center field. That'll make runners at first and third as Nick makes it to third with no play. And on the play, Alex is safe at first base.
And there have been some bobbles this inning, but these have been hard-hit balls going to folks and hard ones to judge in the outfield. So the Stampede's getting a few breaks here, but they are hitting the ball hard this inning.
Chris swings and skies one into left center field. Chaparro will make the catch one-handed. This will be a sacrifice fly RBI. 19-13 as Nick crosses the plate.
5
But
down.
now there are 2 out, and Phil will be the last bit of hope for Denver.
Yep, 5 runs in, 6 to go if they want to get this game tied, 7 if they want to win it outright. But no time limit on this game. They will play out this inning for one more out.
That's right. First pitch to Phil. Fly ball to left center field, one-handed by Chaparro, and that's the game. Final score of this game is going to be San Francisco Blackout 19, the Denver Stampede 13. Good game, a lot of hitting in this game. Denver battled back from 10-0 to 10-8, but then San Francisco has too much offense, and that is how this game will end. We have another game coming for you at 2 o'clock. We know one of the teams in our game. We don't know who the other team is just yet. It'll be the Scorpions. Okay, we're trying to figure out who we will see in this next game. And as soon as we know, of
The
course,
Scorpions
you will
are
know. Are we going to take a break then? We're going to take a quick break and come back. Thank you for joining us for this game. Again, our final score here in our second game here on the Cloud Sports Network. The San Francisco Blackout 19 and the Denver Stampede 13.
Well, okay. So now, would you please tell me what you were trying to tell me before?
Sorry.
The Austin